booked you. Changing the setup today. I've got curtains behind me, and the blue of the shirt matches the blue of the curtain. Little more effort than the last video, which was apologies for the rabbit in a snowstorm background. Today I went to the library. It was a beautiful day. It was pleasant, not too hot, not too humid, with light showers here and there. And I went to the library, and I finally got my library card. I can proudly say the statement: I'm a card-carrying member of my state library. Before I used to issue books on my mother's card, but now I can issue the books on my own card. So before I get to books that I got from the library, there are two books that I did not get from the library. So I came across this Everyman selected poems of John Keats, and I was sitting there reading through some of the poems, and everything was just going all over my head because when the things he's referencing to in his poems, he's talking about Milton, Chaucer, Spenser. He's talking about some particular king that Milton is talking about in Paradise Lost, and he's just using that name there. And you're sort of supposed to understand, I guess, in the time of that era, maybe you would understand because if you were well read enough, but everything was just going over my head, and the notes were not good enough to make sense of the poem here and there, so it was just a bit of hit and miss, so I did not get that. There was a selected poems of Byron by Leslie Marchand as well, and the similar reasoning. I read some poems and some of the references were not there, and I did not want to get the book as well because it was sort of falling apart on itself. So those are the two books that I did not get. Here are the books that I did get. So first off, I've got two Georgette hires. So this is Detection Unlimited. This is a detective novel that she has written, and this is Frederica. This is a romance novel that she has written. Now, I have never read Georgette Heyer before, but I got to know about Georgette Heyer from Andrew at You Could Be Reading More. So I got to know about her from him, and I want to give it a shot. So Frederica is the romance novel, a Regency romance. That's all I know. I know Andrew likes it, or rather he suggested it to me. So I'm going to read it on blind faith based on Andrew's recommendation. This is a detective novel, and it's intriguing me for a particular reason. I read like the first 5 pages, and I think I'm going to like this author because there's a scene where a bunch of dogs are sort of troubling this old codger, sort of old grumbly man who is supposedly jealous of the other person who is a rival in business, and I think that is the guy who's going to die soon. So she's sort of setting up this motive for this guy could possibly be a suspect. And at the back of the book here, firstly, there's praise by Dorothy Sayers. I like Dorothy Sayers. It says only Chief Inspector Hemingway can uncover which of the 10 has turned hatred into murder. Now, I don't know if the 10 is a misprint, that there are 10 suspects, or if that's a misprint of the ton, because this is set in Regency romance. I don't know if this is set in a Regency era, but if it's 10 suspects, that'll be interesting to see, because the most I think I have read the number of suspects in a mystery novel would be like 4 or 5. So 10 suspects, that'll be interesting to go through. Next up, I got this. This was last minute. I just wanted to fill my quota. So I got, what is it called? Colorless Tsukuru Tazaki by Haruki Murakami. I hope I got that right. Murakami is a hit and miss author for me. I've read most of his works, not most, a lot of his works. Norwegian Wood, Kafka on the Shore, Elephant Vanishes, Men Without Women, Wild Goose Chase, or Wild Sheep Chase, whatever, and Killing Commendator. What else was there? The other one, After Dark. So Murakami is a hit and miss author for me. I feel like he makes these incredible atmospheric scenes where you get an ambience of the place, you get into the flow of a particular area, but then nothing really happens, or just wild stuff happens for some reason, and the plots don't make sense, but they're supposed to not make sense. That's the whole point. And I don't know, before I used to like that sort of thing, but now not really. So why did I get him if I don't like him? That is a good question. The best way I could explain it is doing something that you know you should not do and that you will regret later, but that seems fun at the time. That's how I describe Murakami, because I know it's going to leave me a little bit disappointed because it's not going to be polished completely, but there's still some joy while you're reading the thing. But then you look back on it and you're like, it was okay. So what is the book about? As you can see, there are like 5 colors on the cover. So this is a guy who has a group of 5, and all of their names in Japanese mean respective colors: white, black, and so on. And he himself, his the exact word is was the last name with no color in it. So, is that a bit on the nose that there's no color in his life? He's sort of sad and depressed like every other Murakami character ever. I don't know, but it's just some fun reading. Pick this up to fill up my maximum book quota. Next up, also I picked Murakami because it's a little easy reading. This is not going to be easy reading. This is Jane Austen's Sense and Sensibility. So from what I read in the back, apparently there's 2 sisters. One is a wild girl, one is a shy and timid girl. Both of them seeking love, and in doing so, they'll have to learn that you need to have sense and sensibility. I've only read Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen before, and I say this is going to be a hard read because prose of this era seems to be difficult for me to read. Uh, from what I remember, I've only read Jane Austen. I've read R.L. Stevenson, some of his short stories, and they were fun, but again, the prose needs a bit getting used to. And a bit of Charlotte Bronte, Jane Eyre, bit here and there. So again, this is going to be a difficult read, but I'm looking forward to it. Um, Now, a book that from the library that I could not get. So last month I read this book by an author called Jerry Pinto called M and the Big Hoom, and there's another book by him in the library called Murder in Mahim. It's a murder mystery, but it's also exploring about this father who finds out. Apologies for the sudden edit. I had a call and I don't know why people seem to call me now, especially when while I'm recording these videos. So Murder in Mahim. This is again a murder mystery set in Mahim. It's There's a toilet of a particular railway station that is frequented by uh, prostitutes, gay prostitutes, and on one particular day, they find a body, and an inspector is called in to check it up. The inspector has a friend. He's our protagonist. He is a retired journalist, and through the victim and some of the relations to the victim, he finds out that the son, his own son, is also involved. He's not there at the moment. He has gone someplace else for some activism, and in doing so, he finds out that his own son is gay. So this is a novel that is doing a murder mystery, but it's also sort of seeing how this father will see or react to, and then assess and make sense of the fact of this sudden shock that he finds out about his son. Now, the thing is, I have read about 70 pages of this book, but the last time I did not have a library card, so I did not issue the book. I got a library card today. I went to issue the book and found that the book was issued to someone else. Now, at the time, I might have dramatically said that it was stolen by someone else, but I can now be at peace with the fact that it was issued to someone else. I was really looking forward to read it. Anyway, those are the books to do with library. Uh, Now, other things that I hope I can get to in August. So there's another book that I was reading last month, and I left it like at 35%. It's called All Better Now by Neil Shusterman. It's a novel that has it was written shortly after COVID, or maybe during the COVID lockdowns, because it has a pandemic as its main plot point. But the pandemic is, excuse me, but the pandemic has this odd effect where it does not hurt you, although some people do die from it. But if you survive it, you suddenly gain the sense of peace, enlightenment, contentment, and it has this odd effect on the 3 different sort of, not protagonists, but 3 different viewpoints that we are following throughout the story. So I want to hopefully finish that book as well. And I got to know this book from Britta's birthday book haul video, where she talked about this book called Universe in Verse, which is uh, a poetry. It's so I've read about 50% of that book. It's a really short book. It has images, beautiful images. It has a starting essay, like 5-page essay, a 4-page essay, giving a cursory glance on a scientific phenomena, and like very basic stuff, not very rigorous. And then following that, it has, on a similar theme, it has a poem by some poet, and it's very interesting read. It's covering all sorts of matters. So that's an interesting book, and I think I'll finish that as well. Now, another book that is sort of daunting and I'm anxious about is this one. Is that Russell Crowe? I'm not sure. This is Master and Commander by Patrick O'Brien. This is his first of the Aubrey Matram novels, and the issue with this book is I am not familiar with a lot of naval terms. So, what he does give you is this thing. So, there's a ship with all the uh, parts of it labeled, and a lot of it uses language like midshipman, commander, captain, and all that. Now, I am familiar with that a little bit, but if it goes into too much technicality about particular maneuvers, I am worried that the action I may not get into the action if it gets too technical. If he's sort of referring to a particular part of the ship, and I have to sort of break the flow of reading, being like, okay, what is he referring to again? So that is my big concern with reading this book. But again, I'm really excited because again I sort of read first 10 pages of it, where Jack Aubrey and Matram sort of meet in this orchestra setting, and they have sort of a funny scene together. So I'm looking forward, and I like the prose styling as well. So hopefully I can get to this as well. And lastly, a book for my Ancient Greece reading project. So Steve Donahue had made a video called Ancient Greece Starter Kit, and I decided to make that my 2026 reading project, of which I have been neglecting it a little. It starts off with the myths. So for a prerequisite, it talks about Edith Hamilton's Mythology, which is right here. I have read the Iliad and the Odyssey, both Fagel's translations, and I enjoyed them both. I'm sort of doing it not in the right order, but this is Edith Hamilton's Mythology. It's sort of collecting, collating, and giving retellings of all the common myths that were known in Greek mythology. At the end, it has a section for Norse mythology as well, but mainly focusing on Greek mythology, which is funny because I've read like about 3/5 of the book, and she's pulling a lot from Ovid, which is technically not Greek mythology. There are some portions where she's talking about the Aeneid, and again, that's not Greek mythology, that's Roman. But still, having fun reading this. I really enjoy this. So I've read Ovid's Metamorphoses before, David Rayburn translation, and the stories are just so fun. They are so good. I can't lie. I really like Greek mythology. So what is that? That is like 9-10 books that I have piled up for August. Will I read all of them? I hope I do. But if I get through like 80% of the books, I'll be happy, and that'll be a good month. So that is all for now. Wish me luck. Goodbye, BookTube.